Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Imperator Davies, your fedora-wearing Reshiram, and tonight I'm interviewing a Pokemon VGC player who's going to be going to Worlds, if I'm correct, and her name is Modest Neko. How's it going, Neko?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me on.
Okay,
Okay,
dokie,
I hear an
always
echo.
good. Yes, hello, Neko. So, how's it going? How's it going, Neko?
I am going to Worlds, but unfortunately, not as a Worlds competitor this time. I'm going to be doing the regionals that is at that event. But I hope to go into Worlds for next year.
Nah, don't worry. You'll get there. You'll get there. Everybody gets there sometime. But then again, okay, so here's how it's gonna go. I'm gonna be asking you various questions and all the various things for all those little tacticians who want to go into like very serious competitive formats and so on. So here's how it's going to go. So first, our question is: so you are competing in, or not competing in World, but you competed in VGC. How's that feel?
Um, well, basically, it's like regular battles, except let's say you triple it. Since you have to battle the same person 2 or 3 times, so if you do one strategy, then you may have to be careful about what you do, because if they see what you do, then they could take advantage of that. But on the other side, you could do the same thing. So you're battling the same person at least twice, and being face to face with them, it can be a bit more intense. So it's more of an intense environment, but it's still pretty fun.
Oh boy, that's gotta be very, very complicated. Very complicated. Yes. So, well, okay. You've made it this far. You've gotten far in tournaments. I hope you've gotten to maybe not to the finals of certain tournaments, but you've gotten well further than most people, especially me. What's it like? I mean, like since you've made this far, are there any Pokemon or strategies that you would fear, for example?
I would fear.
Yeah, like I
Well, the
mean, people
biggest
like say people
threats, I
fear
guess
the
you could say.
pheromone. See, people see the pheromosa, they just go, "Everybody attack it!" Like, what about what are you? Any Pokemon that you would fear? Any strategies that you would fear?
Well, I have actually seen Tapu Koko with Pelipper, Rain and Thunder strategy. That's just destroyed me. Tapu Koko is a huge threat in VGC, along with Arcanine's Intimidate. Those are big ones you see there. Just basically the Tapus, too. Just Tapu Lele, Tapu Koko, Arcanine. Those seem to be my biggest threats, at least. But I guess the bigger ones are when they throw something at you that you've never seen before, and you don't really know how to respond to it.
Ah, yes. So, oh, those kind of crazy strategies and so on. Everyone has those Pokemon that they fear and so on. Personally, I don't fear any Pokemon, but that's just me. I guess that means I either haven't met a Pokemon I would be afraid of. Curse you, Smurgle. Or
Smeargle,
maybe I'll
yes,
find another
Smeargle.
Pokemon. But in any case, moving on to our next question. As far as meta Pokemon, or more commonly known as, if you might have played VG 2016, the Big Six, as they were more commonly seen. I mean, everybody ran the Big Six, especially in the bigger VGC tournaments. You saw the same Pokemon over and over again. Would you say that? Do you see anything similar to from 2016 to 2017 seasons of VGC?
Oh, definitely. I actually played in 2016 too, and they all were running the Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre, and
Basic.
Cresselia, all those. It's basically the same in 2017. They're running Coco, Arcanine, Garchomp, definitely, which I actually did end up running Garchomp as well, but that's because it's a good one. But I'm trying to avoid running a lot of the meta ones. But for the most part, with it being Sun and Moon only Pokemon, it is a little restricted to the ones that you can use. So I don't know what the excuse was for 2016, though.
Because everyone just likes Primal Groudon, and it's unlike
True.
unlike Kyogre's signature move, which gets lost when Primal Kyogre decides to hit the field. Primal Groudon, well, it can still use its signature move because it's a ground type.
Yeah.
Woohoo! But in any case, what does it feel like to compete at such a high level of Pokemon that most only glimpse through at what would be considered the casual level? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like for those of us down here, down in the casual level, we're not like super serious competitors or so on. What's it like up there?
Um, guess you could just say more intense. Like the strategies, you have to think more. Sometimes I even wonder, like, okay, can I just get a battle where I can just mindlessly throw out attacks and it would be fine? But with the VGC players, everyone seems to have practiced a bunch and they know about the meta, and so like every move counts. I did a battle earlier to where I made one little mistake, one little lapse of judgment, and just the whole battle went downhill from there, and it just cost me the whole battle. So basically, you have to strategize very much. Your head has to be in the game the entire time. Like it is that way with other battles as well, but I don't know.
Yeah, yes, everyone has like that moment of absolute clarity where they don't need to think about their strategies. They know precisely what's going to happen, what the opponent is going to do, and what they're going to do, how the whole thing is going to play out. And then you see me in the battlefield, and you see me just throw out 6 furfros. Okay, but that's just me. That's just me tooting my own horn. But if let me ask you this important question, because we all have that one Pokemon, that one signature Pokemon that defines our team, that tells everyone, I am here and I am here to compete, and you're gonna see this Pokemon on my team. Would you happen to have a Pokemon something like that? If you had to pick one team member, one Pokemon in your entire team that you would have to say has helped you the most to reach where you are right now, what would it be?
That is actually a tie, because starting off, I would say Tapu Fini, because I based my entire team around Tapu Fini's Misty Terrain, because status has been a problem with me so much. But lately it's been tied with Kartana as well, because I've done a crazy Z detect strategy that's actually won me battles somehow. So definitely the two MVPs would be Finny and Kartana for my team. But I guess since the Misty Terrain keeps them all safe, I would have to say Finny.
Okay, so Tapu Fini would be your signature Pokemon.
Yeah.
So, next question. Which, let's say, one of the biggest things that puts people off from competing or battling at competitive levels, you know, actually planning out their teams, you know, breeding perfect Pokemon for battle and so on, pulling out, you know, thinking about their strategies, natures, etc. One of the biggest things that puts people off from that is like the fear of failure. They're afraid of competing because, you know, they don't want to go into a battle and, you know, be raffle stomped. You know, go into a battle and then be raffle stomped 5 minutes in, or not even 5 minutes in, 5 turns in, and have their entire planning and strategy be just completely thrown out. Do you have any thoughts or ideas how they can sort of, for lack of better words, get over it?
Well, at times I haven't even been able to get over it. That's where I started from, where there's always that fear of not being able to win, stuff like that. But what I have been told is don't necessarily try to win at first. Just do the battles and take each battle as a learning experience. If you lose, then figure out what you could do better in that battle. So that's what the battle videos are for. You go over and you think, okay, could I have swapped a certain Pokemon here? Should I have attacked this one? And certain things like that. There may always be that fear of failure, but if you really want to be a good trainer and keep with that, then you definitely need to learn from your mistakes and keep trying, even if you do get discouraged. If you get too discouraged, step away from it for a bit and then come back better, or come back later when you're feeling better about it. And as I said, keep trying and stay in tune with your Pokemon, because that really does work at times.
What doesn't kill you make you stronger, as the song always says. And it definitely keeping in tune with your Pokemon definitely helps as well. There have been times where, you know, I'm thinking I'm on the brink of losing. I'm down to my last Pokemon. I'm outnumbered like 4-1, and my last Pokemon. This actually happened on my battle stream last night. Like, I was down to my superior. It was just my superior against the world. And yet, Despite being against the world, outnumbered 3-1, with only sliver of health, he manages to get the +6 for his contrary and proceeded to Giga Drain my opponent into defeat. But
awesome.
that was definitely probably one of the
Actually-
proudest moments of my entire Pokemon's, history and such. So, definitely
my
proud
saying
of
is
them.
definitely you never know until the end. That's the best thing that you can think is you never know until the end.
It ain't
I
over
had a
till the
similar
last
thing when
one
I was
falls.
saying about the Z detect strategy. It was basically Kartana against Tapu Koko and Slowking. And I knew Tapu Koko would outspeed and take out Kartana. I thought, oh, well, I have nothing left to do. After I'd already detected, I did a Z detect. And actually ended up getting the evasion boost. Tapu Koko missed its Thunderbolt, so I was able to take out Tapu Koko and then survive the Ice Beam from Slowking and then outspeed and get the Slowking next turn. So, yeah, you never know until the end. Even if you think you're going to lose, keep on trying. And if you think that, you're going to win or whatever, don't get too cocky. You have to keep focused. Every move counts.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you don't see what's happening right now. But I'm currently in the middle of a battle, and I'm facing off against 4 legendaries while I'm doing this interview, and my starters are just barreling down against an RCSI. Probably that's how it feels for some people. They're facing down these super competitive Pokemon that have been trained, prepared for battles of all kinds of Pokemon, and yet they feel like this poor little Wurmple that has no idea what it's gonna do, and all it's got is String Shot and Tackle. But in any case, yes, you gotta stay focused. Stay focused on your goal. But in any case, moving on to our next question. Everyone has their own play style, Some people try to adapt. Some try to go all out, assault, taking on the opponent unafraid. Others, they try to inflict status conditions, poison the enemy, paralyze them, burn them. Burn! My personal signature one. Others still try to stall, whittle them down with poison and PP stalling, toxic stalls, those strategies. What would you say your play style is? If you had to pick one kind of play style, what would it be?
I guess it would be a mix of offensive, but mostly defensive. Usually when I see a team, I figure out, okay, which Pokemon would be good against it for each and every one of them. And usually it's not status, because as I said, I try and keep my team safe from status. And I have little setup, only with Finny's Calm Mind. So usually just taking the opponents down offensively and protecting when needed, but sometimes I'm a little too defensive and protect at the wrong moment. So basically just taking them down whenever I get the opportunity with each attack.
So you're basically pretty much an all-around person. You're not really blending toward any one particular style. You just work with what you've got. I guess that's pretty good. All right, so, there are some people who are, looking for advice as to what they're looking to do when they get into the competitive scene. Do you have any advice for those kind of peoples?
Well, definitely, I'd say definitely play legitimately, because I've seen a lot of cheaters in VGC. You don't want to be one of those people. You want to legitimately breed your Pokemon, even if it takes longer. Train as much as you can on the online battles. You can also go to Pokemon Showdown. You can actually do that and try out different Pokemon and constantly think about what you could do better on your team and what's in the meta, what Pokemon you could use against it, and basically constantly think about your team, the moves they could use, different strategies you could do, stuff like that. Even if you're just getting a drink at Starbucks, just think, oh, what could I do for this Pokemon thing?
Oh dear, oh my goodness. Alright, so this next question is probably just, a sort of general sort of question. I mean, it's sort of pretty much broad with how I'm going to phrase it, but let's just say you're going into a battle, you're trying to think, what can I possibly do to mess with my opponent? What kind of strategies could I bring to bear? So, what kind of shenanigans would you say? Let's say I'm gonna start with my first Pokemon. I'm ready to compete. I'm ready to battle into VGC and so on. What kind of team should I think about when what should I bring for the for my first battle? What should I be focusing on for my first competitive Pokemon?
That depends on if you want to be meta or if you want a unique team. If you want a unique team, you try and get Pokemon that aren't common but will still work good for you. If you want to be meta, then you see like the most popular ones, the most popular moves they use, such like that. You can do the Pokemon Global Link for that. For strategies, a lot of people use Porygon 2 and Trick Room, but some people use Tailwind. Just know that if you do Tailwind, they could really mess you up with Trick Room, because with Trick Room you can reset it. With Tailwind, you kind of just got to wait it out. I know the Tapus are really common. It's usually good to have at least one Tapu and one Ultra Beast on your team, but you don't necessarily have to.
All right. And this is pretty much going to be my final question, and this probably will make some people mad. Then again, maybe it won't make people mad at the same time. So, let's just say I'm getting ready to battle, and I'm getting I've gotten my first team ready. We're ready to get going, and then I see my opponent with all these, I'm going to say all these shiny Pokemon, for example. And, he just steamrolls me, and he just absolutely steamrolls me. I mean, there's like no competition between us. Like, should I really be discouraged by that? I mean,
oh, was that the end of the question? Sorry.
Yeah,
are you still there?
Yes, my question is, should I be really discouraged if I get like absolutely steamrolled?
Basically, if you're a legitimate player and it seems like their team is obviously questionable, then I'd say just keep in your mind that you're a legitimate player. Even if they're steamrolling you, just know that you can practice harder. You can do just as good as them, even if they are using like external software to modify their Pokemon. They may have gotten the upper hand from not having to breed their Pokemon. They get more time to practice, but you can do just the same amount of practice, maybe just in more time. So you may have to work harder, but the feeling of taking down a person who does that, when you've done it legitimately, is very rewarding. So you definitely shouldn't get discouraged. You should just think, I can do better to do this. And believe me, a lot of people do use the questionable Pokemon in VGC. I've actually been to events where they're like, oh yeah, I bred this hacked Pokemon or something like that, and it's like, oh, come on. Right in front of the judge, because unfortunately, it is the truth that a lot of the judges turn a blind eye toward people who hack their Pokemon. I guess it's because they don't want to lose a lot of their competitors. So, but definitely don't get discouraged.
That's a question for another day when, I don't have to fear anything. I mean, people again don't see it. You don't see it, but like right now, I just defeated the entire team of shiny. They're probably authentic 6 IV shiny Pokemon. All of them were shiny except for the Marshadow. Clearly authentic. It has an English name. It has to be authentic. But in any case, and I just beat it with my all starters, my girls, as I like to call them. The pledge combo girls.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, and unlike only, let's see, I believe only 4 of them were actually bred. Yeah, only 4 of them were actually bred. 2 of them were starters, like the starters you get in game, and not one of them. Well, actually, 2 of them only had their hidden abilities. So they took a while for me to breed, and same thing that you just said. So don't be afraid. Sure, you may have to put in a little more extra work, but that just means one thing: that you are a better trainer. You took the time. You didn't just point and clicked and created a Pokemon. So in any case, I thank you for your time, Neko. I'm happy that we had this lovely conversation and this lovely interview, and I wish you the best of luck in your future battles, and I hope to perhaps see you at Worlds. Maybe make it to the finals.
Thank you.
Raise the flag of legitimate players. Raise the flag of legitimate players. So I will thank you all next time. I thank all my tacticians who have watched me thus far. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye! That was your cue to say goodbye, Neko.
Okay, we good?
Alright, let's try this again. Because we have to end this interview off with a goodbye from both of us. So, one more time. We will see you all next time. Bye-bye!
Bye.